The midnight train runs every night. Last departure from Central Station to Riverside, 45 minutes. 6 stops, usually empty except for night shift workers, Insomniacs, people with nowhere else to go. Tonight, 6 passengers board the 12:15 train. By 12:17, the doors lock. By 12:18, they find the bag at the back of the car. $2 million in cash and a note. One of you dies, or none of you leave. 6 strangers, 1 killer, 45 minutes to figure out who. Because the train isn't stopping, and in a locked car hurtling through darkness, there's nowhere to run. Central Station at midnight was a cathedral of emptiness. Built in 1947, renovated twice, the main terminal was all marble floors and vaulted ceilings that echoed with footsteps that no longer came. During the day, thousands passed through, but after midnight, the station belonged to ghosts and those who lived on the margins of normal hours. Platform 7, Track 12, the midnight train to Riverside sat waiting, a 5-car commuter rail that made the journey through the city's eastern corridor. Most nights, it ran nearly empty. Tonight would be different. 12:13 a.m., 6 people approached the train from different directions, each lost in their own world, unaware that in 45 minutes, their lives would be forever connected by blood. Passenger 1, Marcus Webb, 52 years old, wearing an expensive suit that didn't quite fit anymore. Weight loss, stress, something. He carried a leather briefcase, held it close to his chest like a child clutching a teddy bear. His eyes were hollow, sleepless. He boarded through the front door, chose a seat near the middle, placed the briefcase on his lap. Passenger 2, Elena Rodriguez, 38, wearing nurse's scrubs under a thin jacket. Her shift at City General had ended at midnight. She was exhausted, feet aching, mind numb from 12 hours of blood and pain and the particular weight of keeping people alive. She sat near the back, closed her eyes immediately. Passenger 3, David Kim, 22, college student, backpack slung over one shoulder, headphones around his neck but silent. He'd been at the library until closing, studying for finals. Or that's what he wanted people to think. He took a seat near the front, pulled out his phone, scrolled mindlessly. Passenger 4, Margaret Hayes, 71 years old, wearing a faded coat and carrying 2 shopping bags filled with something. Groceries maybe, or just the possessions of someone who had nowhere permanent to put them. She moved slowly, arthritis in her knees, and settled into a seat near the middle, opposite side from Marcus. Passenger 5, Vincent Carlisle, 45, construction worker, paint-stained jeans, flannel shirt, work boots. His hands were calloused, face weathered. He smelled faintly of cigarettes and concrete dust. He sat near Elena, nodded at her once, workers acknowledging workers, then stared out the window. Passenger 6, the businessman. That's how everyone would later describe him. Late 30s, expensive suit, perfectly groomed, reading a newspaper. Yesterday's edition, though no one noticed. He sat alone near the front, across from David, and never looked up from his paper. 12:15 a.m. The doors closed with a pneumatic hiss. The train lurched forward, beginning its journey. Central Station to Riverside. 6 stops, 45 minutes. The fluorescent lights flickered once, then held steady, casting everything in that particular shade of transit exhaustion. Too bright to sleep, too dim to read comfortably. For 2 minutes, silence. Each passenger existed in their own bubble. Marcus clutched his briefcase. Elena dozed. David scrolled. Margaret rearranged her bags. Vincent stared. The businessman read. 12:17 a.m. The train should have been approaching the first stop, Commerce Street, but it didn't slow. David looked up first, noticed. Hey, did we just pass Commerce? No one answered. The train kept moving. David stood, walked toward the door. Press the button. Nothing. Tried again. The door didn't open. Guys? The doors are locked. That got attention. Marcus looked up. Vincent stood. Elena opened her eyes. The businessman lowered his newspaper. What do you mean locked? Marcus asked. I mean locked. The button doesn't work. David tried the emergency intercom. Static. Dead. He looked down the car toward the conductor's cabin at the front. Dock. Empty. Where's the driver? Vincent moved to the front door, the one leading between cars. Locked. He tried the rear door. Also locked. We're locked in. Margaret's voice thin and scared. Why would they lock us in? That's when Elena noticed it. A black duffel bag at the back of the car, on the floor between seats. She hadn't seen anyone bring it on. Whose bag is that? Everyone looked. No one claimed it. The businessman folded his newspaper carefully. Perhaps we should open it. Don't touch it, Marcus said quickly. Could be a bomb. On a midnight train? Vincent's voice carried skepticism. Who bombs an empty commuter rail? But Marcus's fear was infectious. They all stared at the bag like it was a coiled snake. Finally, Elena stood. 15 years as an ER nurse had given her a particular relationship with fear. She'd learned to walk toward it. She approached the bag, knelt, unzipped it slowly. Money. Stacks of it. $100 bills, bound in bank wraps. Thousands of stacks. Elena's breath caught. Holy! How much? Vincent was beside her now. Elena grabbed a stack, checked the bank wrap. $10,000. She looked at the bag, counted quickly. Maybe 200 stacks. $2 million. Silence. Then everyone moved at once, surrounding the bag, staring at more money than most of them would see in a lifetime. David reached for a stack. Marcus grabbed his wrist. Don't. Why not? It's just sitting here. Nothing's ever just sitting anywhere, Marcus said. His businessman instincts were screaming. There's always a reason. Margaret, her voice shaking. There's a note, taped inside the bag. Elena pulled it out. A piece of paper, typed message. One of you is a thief. One of you is a killer. The money is stolen. Figure out who before the train reaches Riverside, or everyone dies. One death unlocks the doors. Choose wisely. The train rattled on through the darkness. Outside the windows, the city blurred past. Warehouses, industrial zones, neighborhoods that never saw daylight prosperity. Vincent broke the silence. This is insane. Who would? It's real, the businessman said. Everyone turned to him. He'd stood, moved closer, was looking at the money with professional assessment. That's genuine currency, probably stolen from somewhere that can't report it. Drug money, cartel, organized crime. How do you know? David's voice cracked. Because I work in private security. I've seen money like this before. The businessman's calm was unnerving. The question is, who stole it? Accusations started immediately. Marcus pointed at Vincent. You, construction worker, probably moonlights in breaking and entering. Vincent's face hardened. I work 60 hours a week. What about you, briefcase? What's in there you're holding so tight? Business documents. Nothing to do with this. Elena stepped between them. Stop. This is what whoever did this wants. Turn us against each other. One of us is against the others, David said. That's the point. One thief, one killer. He looked around the car. So who? Margaret spoke quietly. Maybe none of us. Maybe this is a mistake. A test. We just need to wait until Riverside and… Read the note again, the businessman interrupted. It says one death unlocks the doors. That's not a metaphor. Someone dies, or we're trapped here. Then we call for help. David pulled out his phone. No signal. Of course. Vincent tried his. Same. We're in a dead zone. Industrial corridor. Won't get signal until we're closer to Riverside. How long? Elena asked. Vincent checked his watch. Train should reach Riverside in 43 minutes. If we're lucky. Marcus laughed bitterly. Luck? We're locked in a train car with a killer and $2 million stolen dollars. Luck left at Central Station. The businessman pulled out a pen and paper from his jacket. Let's approach this logically. 6 passengers, 1 thief, 1 killer. Those could be the same person or 2 different people. He started writing names. We need to figure out who has motive. Motive for what? Margaret asked. Stealing money or killing people? Both. They sat in a rough circle. The money bag in the center like a dark sun they all orbited. The train's rhythm, clickety-clack, provided a countdown soundtrack. I'll start, Elena said. My name is Elena Rodriguez. I'm a nurse at City General. I work night shifts. I boarded this train because my car broke down and I needed to get home. I've never seen any of you before. I didn't steal any money and I'm not a killer. That's what a killer would say, David muttered. What's your story then? Elena challenged. David shifted uncomfortably. David Kim, college student, was at the library, studying. At midnight, Vincent asked. Finals week. Libraries open 24 hours. Convenient, Marcus said. College kid, probably in debt. $2 million would solve a lot of problems. I'm not a thief. Then why are you sweating? David was sweating, visibly, because we're locked in a train car with a psychopath who wants one of us dead. The businessman raised a hand. Let's continue. I'm Jonathan Gray, private security consultant. I work for corporations protecting assets. Tonight I was meeting a client downtown. Late meeting. This was my ride home. Protecting assets, Vincent repeated. Like $2 million in cash? I protect legal assets. This, Jonathan gestured to the money. This is trouble I avoid professionally. Marcus went next. Marcus Webb, financial consultant. The briefcase contains client portfolios. Confidential. That's all. Open it, Vincent demanded. No. Why not? Because it's private. Marcus's grip on the briefcase tightened. And I don't answer to construction workers. Vincent stood. Say that again. Gentlemen. Margaret's voice cut through. Fighting won't help. She took a breath. My name is Margaret Hayes. I'm retired. I live alone. These bags contain my groceries. I shop at night because things are cheaper at the 24-hour market. I don't have much money, but I don't steal, and I certainly don't kill. Everyone looked at Vincent. He sighed. Vincent Carlisle. Construction. Day shifts usually, but I took a night job finishing a project downtown. Needed the overtime. My daughter's sick. Medical bills. That's why I work 60 hours. He paused. That's also why $2 million would solve my life. The admission hung in the air. At least you're honest, Elena said quietly. Honesty might get me killed here. Vincent looked around the group. But yeah, I need money. We all probably do. Doesn't make me a thief. Jonathan consulted his notes. So we have 6 people, all with theoretical motive for money. But who had opportunity to steal $2 million? And who's capable of killing? David added, his voice shaking. Marcus laughed darkly. We're all capable. Given the right circumstances, the right pressure, anyone can kill. Speaking from experience? Vincent challenged. Speaking from reality. The train passed the 3rd station, should have been Fairview. Without stopping, the doors remained locked. Outside, the city continued its indifferent scroll. Inside the fluorescent car, 6 people confronted the mathematics of murder. We're approaching this wrong, Elena said, "We're asking who stole the money, but that's not the real question. The real question is, who set this up?" She pointed to the note. "Someone orchestrated this, locked the doors, left the money, typed that note. This isn't random." Jonathan nodded slowly. "She's right. This is elaborate. It requires access to train systems, knowledge of schedules, resources. So who here could do that?" David asked. "Maybe none of us," Margaret suggested. "Maybe we're all victims, chosen randomly, or chosen specifically," Jonathan countered. "Maybe we're connected somehow. Maybe that's the key." They looked at each other. 6 strangers, no obvious connection, different ages, backgrounds, lives. But Jonathan was right. Coincidence on this scale didn't exist. "Let's try something," Elena suggested. "Everyone say where they were yesterday at 3 p.m. Marcus, my office. Don't. Federal Plaza. Elena, hospital. Starting my shift. David, class. University. Economics lecture. Vincent, job site. 12th and Harmon. Renovation project. Margaret, home. I don't go out during the day much. Jonathan, client meeting. West Side Tower. Nothing obvious connected them. They tried other times, other places. Nothing overlapped. Until Vincent said, "Wait, the renovation project. 12th and Harmon. Anyone know what building that is?" Silence. Then Marcus's face went pale. First National Bank. Executive offices. Everyone stared at Vincent. "I didn't. I was working legitimate construction. We were hired to." Vincent stopped. Realization dawning. The vault level. They had us renovate near the vault level. And 3 days ago, Jonathan said slowly, clearly having read about this, First National Bank reported a theft. $2 million. Stolen during overnight hours while construction was happening. All eyes locked on Vincent. "I didn't steal it." Vincent's voice rose. "I worked construction. I didn't have access to the vault." "I didn't. But you knew the layout," Marcus said. "You knew the security gaps. So did 40 other workers. But 40 other workers aren't on this train," Jonathan observed. "You are." Vincent backed up, hands raised. "I'm being framed. Can't you see that? Whoever stole the money, they're here, and they're setting me up. Or you're deflecting," David said. The train's intercom crackled to life. Everyone froze. A voice, electronically distorted, filled the car. 30 minutes to Riverside. 1 death unlocks the doors. Choose. The intercom died. Silence returned, heavier now. Margaret started crying quietly. David's hands shook. Marcus clutched his briefcase like a shield. Elena stood still, nurse training keeping her functional despite fear. Jonathan remained calm, analytical. Vincent looked at each of them, seeing his death in their eyes. "We're not killing anyone," Elena said firmly. "That's insane. We wait until Riverside. We find another way out." "There is no other way," Jonathan said. "The doors are electronically locked. The emergency exits are disabled. We're in a moving train. Unless we stop it, we ride to Riverside. And based on that message, something very bad happens when we arrive." "Like what?" David asked. "Like maybe the train doesn't stop. Maybe it keeps going, off the rails. Or maybe whoever set this up is waiting at Riverside with guns." Jonathan's voice remained eerily calm. The rules were clear. 1 death for freedom. No death means no freedom. "Then we fight," Vincent said. "When we reach Riverside, we break the doors. Break the windows. Something. These are reinforced transit windows," Marcus noted. "You'd need tools." Vincent looked at his hands. "I've got these." "Against reinforced glass? You'll break your hands first." Time became viscous. The train hurtled forward, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. while 6 people circled each other in an enclosed space that had become a cage. "The briefcase," David said suddenly. "Open it. Prove you've got nothing to hide." Marcus's knuckles whitened on the handle. "No, why not?" "Because it's private. We're past privacy." Vincent moved toward Marcus. "Open it or I open it." "Stop!" Elena stepped between them. But Vincent was bigger, scared, desperate. He shoved past her, grabbed for the briefcase. Marcus pulled away. They struggled. The briefcase fell, clicked open. Papers spilled out. Financial documents, client portfolios, but also photographs. Crime scene photographs, bodies, blood, evidence photos. Everyone stared. Marcus scrambled to collect them. But Jonathan picked one up first, studied it. "These are police evidence photos. How did you get these?" Marcus's face crumbled. "I didn't steal any money, but I killed someone 5 years ago. Self-defense, but I couldn't prove it. I ran, changed my name, built a new life. These photos, someone sent them to me yesterday. Blackmail. They know what I did. They're threatening to expose me unless I pay." "Pay $2 million? Elena asked. "No, they didn't ask for money. They just sent the photos, with a note. See you on the midnight train." Marcus looked at the others. "Don't you understand? Someone knows all our secrets. This is a game. We're not figuring out who's guilty. We're all guilty." The words landed like stones. One by one, the others realized he was right. David spoke next, voice small. "I'm not really a college student. I mean, I was. Got kicked out. Academic fraud. I've been pretending, keeping up appearances because my parents don't know. They think I'm graduating in May. I've been selling fake IDs to make money. Someone found out. They texted me yesterday. Said if I didn't get on this train, they'd tell my parents everything." Margaret's turn. "I'm not just a retired woman. I was a bookkeeper. For the wrong people. I cooked books for the Castellano crime family for 20 years. When I tried to leave, they threatened me. But I had insurance, evidence, ledgers, names. I've been hiding for 3 years. Yesterday, someone left a note at my apartment. Said the Castellanos knew where I was. Said my only chance was this train. Vincent, my daughter isn't just sick. She's in debt. To loan sharks. Bad people. I've been trying to pay it off, but it's too much. Yesterday, someone called me. Said they'd clear her debt if I got on this train. I thought maybe it was a chance. A way out." Elena's hands trembled as she spoke. 6 months ago, I made a mistake. A patient came in with a gunshot wound. I didn't report it. Broke protocol. Helped him instead. He was trying to rescue his daughter from traffickers. I lost my job at City General. Got hired at a free clinic, but I'm on probation. Yesterday, someone emailed me. Said they had evidence of my violations. Said they'd ruin me unless I took this train. Jonathan looked at each of them. Then, I'm not a security consultant. I was 10 years ago. Then I did a job for the wrong client. Helped them steal something. Got caught. Did 5 years in prison. When I got out, I couldn't get legitimate work. So I've been freelancing. Security jobs for criminals who can't go to cops. Someone contacted me yesterday. Offered me a job. Said I had to board this train. I thought it was a client meeting. 6 passengers. 6 secrets. 6 people coerced onto the midnight train. We're not random, Elena whispered. We were chosen. But why? David asked. Jonathan picked up the note again. Read it carefully. It doesn't say one of us is the thief. It says one of you, third person. The person who wrote this isn't on the train. Then who locked the doors? Vincent asked. Who's controlling this? As if in answer, the lights in the car went out. Emergency lighting kicked in, dim red glow. Then the intercom. 20 minutes to Riverside. Choose, or I choose for you. The voice. It was familiar. Elena's breath caught. I know that voice. Even distorted. I know it. Who? Marcus demanded. The patient. The one I helped. The gunshot victim. Daniel Pierce. Elena's mind raced. He said his daughter was taken by traffickers. I helped him. But what if? What if he wasn't the victim? What if he was part of it? Jonathan. What happened to him? He recovered. Disappeared. I assumed he got his daughter back and left town. But what if he didn't? What if this is revenge? For something I don't even understand. Vincent grabbed her shoulders. Did you see his face? Yes, but I didn't. Elena stopped. Looked at Jonathan. Really looked. The sharp features. The calm demeanor. The eyes that watched everything. It's you. Jonathan didn't deny it. His calm finally broke into something colder. My name is Daniel Pierce. And yes, this is revenge. He stood, backed away from the group, pulled a remote control from his pocket. You all destroyed lives. Maybe not directly, maybe not intentionally, but your choices, your secrets, they rippled out. Marcus, you killed my brother. 5 years ago. You called it self-defense. It was murder. David, you sold a fake ID to my daughter. She used it to get into a club where she was drugged and trafficked. Margaret, you cooked books for the people who took her. Vincent, you worked construction at the bank we were going to rob to pay her ransom. Your noise that night triggered early security, ruined everything. Elena, you helped me when I tried to save Emma, but you also documented everything. Your records led the police to me, cost me my freedom. And the money? Marcus asked, voice hollow. There is no money, just stacks of cut paper with real bills on top. The bag is a prop. Like all of this, I wanted you to turn on each other, show your true natures. But you surprised me. You actually tried to figure it out, tried to work together. Daniel's expression was unreadable. My daughter died 6 months ago, in that warehouse, before anyone could save her. This train, this game, it's all I have left. So what now? Elena asked. You kill us all? No, I let you choose. That was always the point. 6 guilty people. One has to pay. You decide who, or you all ride to Riverside, where the train is programmed to derail in the maintenance yard. I'll be watching from the next car. You have 15 minutes. Daniel pressed the remote. The door between cars unlocked. He stepped through. It locked behind him. 6 people stood in the red emergency lighting. The train rattled on. Riverside approaching. 15 minutes. He's bluffing, David said. The train won't derail. That's insane. Marcus checked his watch. 14 minutes. You willing to bet your life on probably bluffing? We're not killing anyone, Elena repeated. But her voice was weaker now. Then we all die, Vincent said flatly. Margaret spoke, her voice surprisingly steady. I'm 71 years old. I've lived my life, made mistakes. I'm ready to face them. She stood, walked to the door between cars, knocked. Mr. Pierce, Daniel, I worked for the people who hurt your daughter. I'm guilty. Take me. Let the others go. The intercom crackled. Daniel's voice no longer distorted. Your sacrifice is noted, but it doesn't work that way. The others have to choose. Free will. That's what cost me everything. Everyone's free will led to my daughter's death. So everyone's free will decides tonight. Margaret returned to her seat. They sat in a circle again. No money bag this time. Just 6 people and an impossible choice. 10 minutes. Let's vote, Marcus said. Everyone who thinks we should fight, break out, Take our chances with a derail. Raise your hand. No one raised their hands. Everyone who thinks someone should. Marcus couldn't finish. Couldn't say the word. Silence. 5 minutes. I'll do it. Vincent stood. I've got nothing anyway. Daughter's debt will kill her without me. At least this way, 5 people live. Sit down, Elena said. We're not. There's no other way. Vincent's voice broke. Can't you see? He's right. We're all guilty. Someone pays. Might as well be the guy who needs it least. You have a daughter, Margaret said. She needs you. She needs to live. This way. At least the debt dies with me. David stood. I'll do it. I ruined everything anyway. Fake life. Fake degree. My parents are better off thinking I died than knowing the truth. Also no, Elena said firmly. 2 minutes. The train began to slow. Riverside approaching. They could see the maintenance yard through the windows. The track curved sharply. If the train didn't stop, didn't brake properly, it would derail exactly as Daniel promised. Marcus opened the briefcase, pulled out one of the crime scene photos. His victim, his crime. I killed someone. That's not self-defense. That's murder. I should pay. Elena grabbed the photo, looked at it, then at Marcus. You killed someone defending yourself from an abuser. This photo, it's of someone who was attacking you. I can see the evidence. You're guilty of survival, not murder. 1 minute. The train wasn't slowing enough. The curve approached. The tracks gleamed in the maintenance yard lights like a finish line they couldn't cross. Elena stood, walked to the door, pressed the intercom. Daniel, you want justice? Real justice? Here it is. We're all choosing to ride this through. Together, all of us guilty, all of us paying. That's what your daughter would have wanted. Not revenge, not more death. Just for the guilty to acknowledge their guilt and try to do better. 30 seconds. The train hurtled toward the curve. Physics became enemy. Speed plus angle equals disaster. 20 seconds. I'm sorry, David shouted to no one and everyone. I'm sorry for all of it. Others echoed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 10 seconds. The curve. The train began to brake. Hard. Emergency brakes. Passengers thrown forward. Metal screaming against metal. The car tilted, wheels lifting on one side, but not enough to derail. Physics held. Barely. They stopped. In the maintenance yard. Still on the tracks. The doors unlocked. Daniel Pierce stood outside on the platform. Behind him, police cars. Dozens of them. Detective Ray Chandler leading the approach. They'd been waiting. Elena stepped off the train first. Faced Daniel. You called them? Daniel nodded. I wanted you to choose death. To turn on each other. To prove I was right about human nature. But you didn't. You chose together. Even guilty people, especially guilty people, deserve a chance to be better. He held out his wrists for handcuffs. Starting with me. Detective Chandler arrested Daniel Pierce for kidnapping, endangerment, and a list of other charges. Then turned to the 6 passengers. You're all going to need to give statements. And based on what we heard over the surveillance Pierce installed, you've all got your own legal issues to sort out. Marcus, I figured. Ray looked at each of them. But you also chose not to kill. When it would have been easy, when it would have saved you. That counts for something. Won't erase the past, but it's a start. 3 months later, the 6 passengers from the midnight train met at a diner near Central Station. Voluntary meeting, no obligations, but they came. Marcus's case had been reviewed. The killing ruled self-defense after all. He was free. David had confessed to his parents, dropped the pretense, gotten a real job. Margaret had testified against the Castellanos in exchange for immunity. Vincent's daughter's debt had been forgiven by a victim's fund after the case made news. Elena's medical board had reinstated her fully. Jonathan, Daniel Pierce, was serving 5 years for his crimes, but would be out early for cooperation. They sat in a booth, drinking coffee, not quite friends, but no longer strangers. "Think we would have actually done it?" David asked. "If the train hadn't stopped? Killed someone?" Vincent shook his head. "I don't think so. I think we would have ridden it through. Together," Margaret added. "Together," they echoed. Elena looked at her watch. "Midnight train leaves in 10 minutes. Anyone need a ride?" They laughed. Dark humor, the only kind that made sense. "I drive now," Marcus said. "Never taking that train again." "Same," David agreed. But as midnight approached, they all found themselves at Platform 7, watching the midnight train arrive, watching new passengers board. Night shift workers, Insomniacs, people with nowhere else to go. "You think any of them are hiding something?" Vincent asked. "Everyone's hiding something," Elena said. "The question is whether it defines them or they define it." The midnight train departed. The 6 remained on the platform, watching it disappear into the darkness. Then they turned and walked back into the city, carrying their guilt, their choices, their strange salvation. Because the midnight train runs every night. Last departure from Central Station to Riverside. Usually empty, except for people with secrets. But sometimes, those people find something unexpected in the locked car hurtling through darkness. Not death, not money, not revenge. Just the simple truth that even guilty people can choose mercy, even when it costs everything. The train keeps running. The city keeps bleeding. And 6 people learn that the hardest choice isn't between life and death. It's between the person you've been and the person you could be. The midnight train doesn't judge. It just moves forward. And so somehow did they.